Welcome to my video. This week, watching YouTube, I learned a lot. I learned that there are ethical and legal reasons for a separation between a for-profit LLC and a not-for-profit 501 corporation. I found out that all you have to do is have a hat, wear the right hat, and you are identified as being for the not-for-profit or for the LLC. That's right. The LLC hat means everything I say and everything that goes with it goes to a for-profit corporation. If I change the hat and it says NFP, now anything I say, you're making donations, and I promise to help those who need the money. I'm not sure if that's the ethical way or the legal way to keep distance between an LLC and a not-for-profit. I also learned that when you start a not-for-profit, the most important thing you can do is to get competent people to volunteer to do specific jobs, and that they should be willing to work in excess of 40 hours a week and live in a van. All of this is new to me. I thought if I were going to start, whether it's a for-profit business or even a not-for-profit, the first thing I would do is file all the necessary paperwork, understanding that a business operates on quarterly taxes paid in advance to various government entities. I thought perhaps I might need to retain the services of a law firm to make sure that everything I was doing was being done according to the law. Silly me. All I really needed to do was go buy a hat. What else did I learn? I don't need employees. I can get volunteers. I can even advertise for a volunteer coordinator for my not-for-profit. That's fascinating. I thought I would want to have employees whom I would pay, and then they would have a specific job to do. That way, if they don't do their job, I can fire them. I can give them a job with hours to show up for work. I can have a basis to evaluate them. But no. Volunteer. That's what you want. You want volunteers to come in and reimburse them for any expenses they may have related to their volunteer position. It's fascinating. And apparently, unbeknownst to me, there are ethical reasons that you would not, if you had a business, say an LLC, say a web page, that makes a profit for you. There are reasons ethical that you would not associate with the not-for-profit. That's absolutely fascinating to me. I never heard of such a thing. I have seen companies and corporations affiliate themselves with not-for-profits for the purposes of donations, large corporations, for the purposes of parties, days out, all sorts of things. Provide baseball tickets, sporting event tickets, all sorts of things coming from a corporation to a charity. Yet, you're not, that's ethically barred. What some may say is stopped. I never knew. I'm not sure what code of ethics that would be. Perhaps someone's confused a little bit and thinks that the appearance of or an actual conflict of interest is prohibited ethically within certain professions. That could be. As far as the legal prohibitions, I don't know of any. I didn't hear of any this week. I heard it referenced, but I never heard of it. Also, why would I want to have employees when I can have volunteers? After all, volunteers just come in when they want and leave when they want. They do what they're told to do. They always do exactly as they're told, and they're never going to get upset with any rules or regulations. They can always be counted on. And that way, you don't have to pay a salary. You can reimburse them for any expenses. Of course, I think you might need an accountant, and you'll have, well, I guess you need a shoebox. You put all the receipts that the volunteer claims are reimbursable, and then you just give them the money. That sounds good. All of this is new to me. I didn't know how that worked. The reality is, I understand it, is a bit different. I think that if you do it that way, you've got a recipe for disaster. The disaster comes if you, in your LLC, promote, let's say, a gathering. Let's say it's a gathering of 30 to 50 vehicles. And at this gathering, hypothetically, let's say that one of the people who arrives and shows up on public land to be part of your gathering has less sense than, say, rocks. And let's say that that person, after getting the directions and the GPS coordinates from your business on the internet, is showing off. And let's say that in the course of their showing off, someone gets injured. And it's a mess. There's a serious injury. Maybe not so serious. But you have emergency response. People go to the hospital. There's all sorts of bills to be paid. And the next thing, somebody's injured at your gathering that you invited everyone to and told them where it was. Now you've got yourself a problem. Ethically, I think, if you would do that, hypothetically, you're responsible for any charges that may be incurred by the injured party. And that is a problem. On the other hand, if I am to believe what this individual on YouTube claims is the way things should be done, it all depends on which hat was being worn when someone is injured. Not only that, who wears the hat is apparently important. And it also seems important, in listening to what I heard this week, that no employees are involved. That everything is volunteer. Because after all you want to do with a not-for-profit is help people. And what you're doing with a for-profit is making a profit. So that's what I learned this week. I learned that it's very simple to have a not-for-profit. It's very easy. Just get volunteers. And you can use your own personal corporation as long as you wear the right hat to assist this not-for-profit. But if you wear the wrong hat, there could be a conflict or some kind of ethical or legal impediment. I'm not sure any of that was good to know. But apparently, that's how it's done. Seems to be that's what's going on here on YouTube this week. LLCs versus 501(c)(3)s. And all you need to know about how to keep your distance and avoid trouble. Wear the right hat, people. It's very important. Semper Fi.